I'd like to go over the importance of sunshine and grounding and really what it means because it's so powerful. And this is one of the great things. This is free. It is and it is people underestimate the power because it actually works on a molecular perspective. We're talking about the respiratory proteins within the mitochondria. That's through the cell energy. And the thing about this is that when you combine sunshine and grounding, you're basically creating, it's the same principle that goes into a solar battery. And so let's go into this a little bit more so you get to see exactly what I'm talking about. And let me just, so basically, when I say these are two of the most powerful things that you can do, and they're totally free. And so let's understand what grounding is. Grounding is every morning you want to plug your bare feet into the ground. And so what I mean by that is just walking barefoot. You can sit in a chair and just your feet touches the ground. And actually, one of the things that is better than any of that for grounding is swimming. If you can swim, that's the ultimate grounding. And I'm going to go into this, but the Earth is the largest reservoir of free electrons, and it allows that to go to the body. And it's now people often ask me, they say, "Hey, and I live in if you don't know, I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It gets a little cold here in the winter. We have snow." And people will say, "Well, what about when it's snowing?" And there's a couple things about this. Number one is that you can do it in the snow. In fact, it works even better. Go outside. Instead of the grass, you can go right into the snow. But a lot of people are like, "I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to go outside in the snow." So here's what you do. You can it can still work. It's not quite as effective, but it's still grounding. And that is go to the, particularly if you're in the north, a lot of these homes have basements, and the basements are typically cement. And so if you have bare feet on cement, that's fantastic. But and these are easy things that you can do that make just a huge difference. So we say every morning, plug your bare feet to the ground, and each morning wirelessly connect your bare eyes to the sun. So I say bare feet to the ground, bare eyes to the sun. What I mean by that is not through a window, not through the glass affects the sun's rays. So you don't want to do it through a window. You don't want to do it with contact lenses. You don't want to do it through glasses. It's bare eyes towards the sun. Now, that doesn't mean you look at the sun, but it's bare eyes towards the sun. And so one of the things about this is, and this uses the photoelectric effect. And it literally, like I told you earlier, it works the same way as a solar battery. So it's really recharging your body. And the sun's photons cause these electrons to sort of break free. They jump orbit. And when they do that, they release energy. And the electrons can communicate with photons. So the more of the electrons that you have, the more energy, the more information that you have. And so you want to have a large reservoir of electrons. And like I said, the Earth is the largest reservoir of free electrons. And we're designed to walk barefoot. And today, when you take a look at it, we wear shoes with rubber soles. We have our running shoes on, our dress shoes. It doesn't matter. Shoes, you're not touching the feet to the ground. That's what we were designed. In the old days, people would sleep on the floor. They would touch their bare feet to the ground. They had some moccasins that barely did anything, still allowed those free electrons. And we don't have that with the carpet. So then the water molecules are able to send these energized electrons throughout the entire body. And they circulate through tiny blood vessels deep in the tissues, even to the even to the smallest areas of the body. And so, that's what we said. There's the water and there's DHA. That's what allows these electrons to be sent. I talked about the water just a second ago, allowing that to reach the smallest, the most remote regions of the body. But there's also DHA, which is of course, DHA, most commonly found in fish oils. It's one of the primary docosahexaenoic acid. Has a very unique structure where there's many carbon-to-carbon double bonds. You'll see that. You'll see the C with like the equal sign C. You'll see these, and they're on that outer shell. So there's this outer electron shell that's called the pi electron cloud. In fact, Dr. Budwig has a lot of information on this and uses this principle for her cancer treatment. And she mixes, it's not called cottage cheese in Europe, but it's essentially cottage cheese, and then uses oils like flax oil and mixes that together. Because what happens is when light hits these electron clouds, the DHA is able to easily capture and absorb extra electrons that are then energized by sunlight. So if you can have these, you want to have a large reservoir of electrons from the grounding, and the DHA, and by the way, the DHA in the body is a conduit that allows these electrical impulses essentially to go throughout your body. And that's that's how you energize your body. And a lot of people don't realize that. You're really, that's a battery. I mean, it's Einstein's principle that makes this really happen. So when we take a look at this and understand it, now you can Google this. This is, if you just Google, you can Google earthing, health implications of reconnecting the human body. But you can just put down scientific evidence of grounding or earthing. And this is one of the articles that will come up from the NIH, National Institute of Health, the NCBI, National Center of Bioinformation Technology, Information. And what you'll see here is this research study that's the health implications of reconnecting the human body to Earth's surface electrons. And it's amazing because you go through this, and I really suggest you look at it. We can take each portion of this. It talks about it, how it alters the electrophysiology of blood, how it alters the zeta potential. The zeta potential is what is the electrical charge that keeps a colloidal system, these particles in solution. Okay, actually in suspension. It's actually not in solution, and that's how the blood is. And it's very important because that's what gives that electrical charge, is what allows for instance, the red blood cells to flow through single file through capillaries, and it allows it to reach all these different areas. It's so important to have you want to have a high, an optimal zeta potential. If not, you get flocculation, you get instability. Things fall out of suspension. Now, the other thing it does, it talks about how it almost instantly balances the adrenals and balances hormones. People sleep better. It reduces pain. There are so many implications to this. In fact, just to show you how much of an implication, two of the authors of this, Sokol and Sokol, it's a father and son team, they're cardiologists, and they concluded, and just read this sentence, that earthing the human body enhances human physiological processes, including increasing the activity of catabolic processes, and may be, this is the main factor, may be the primary factor regulating endocrine and nervous system. So it may be the primary function to regulate the nerve system and the hormonal system. This is absolutely incredible. And when you understand this, you won't ever want to miss a day of sunshine and grounding. And the more you can do that, the better off you're going to be. I'd recommend very first thing in the morning, as soon as you wake up, before doing anything else, open your door, go outside, look towards the sun, get some grounding, get some sunshine, help set the circadian rhythm, which we'll go over as well. What a way to start the day. Get the red light. You get more red light in the morning. You help make melatonin. It helps with the adrenals. It does so many different things. And it's also really important. It's great to get it in the evening as well. But that's what I would recommend. And it's absolutely phenomenal to do that. Okay. And you know what? I'm going to take this up to the information provided here is for educational purposes only. Is not medical advice. The statements made are the opinions of the participants and have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. By providing this information, we are not diagnosing, treating, curing, mitigating, or preventing any type of disease or medical condition. This is not intended as a substitute for professional advice of any kind before beginning any type of natural, integrative, or conventional treatment regimen. It is advisable to seek the advice of a licensed healthcare professional. And full disclaimer can be found at wellnesstechnologies.ai/disclaimer.